kids, and it's like the state never want to give you no help, and then like, come on,
Right.
I don't want this much help. I just want this much. Um, but I just stayed prayed up. My family prayed me up. I prayed myself up, and God got me through it. You know, um,
Amen.
and then like sometimes when I had to spend a lot of time in the hospital and stuff, being away from my kids was no, yeah.
Right.
I'm not saying yeah, the being away from my kids was the biggest thing, but finances was definitely a close second. But being when my kids, because when I was originally diagnosed, I lived in Texas, and
Okay.
my sister, after I was diagnosed, my sister was like, "Look, why don't you just let me take the boys with me and bring them, take them to North Carolina?" I'm like, "What? What do you mean take my
Right.
kids away from me?" Like, no, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
But it was
No.
the best thing. I couldn't
Right.
be a good mom. I was tired all the time, in and out of the hospital, and just couldn't be a really good mom. And so I was like, you know what? That was the hardest decision I ever made in my life. But I sent them across the country, and I didn't
Wow.
come, I didn't get back to them for, it was 2 years before I got back to them. So that was the biggest
Oh.
thing. And yeah, it was really hard. I could talk to them every day. I talked to my kids every single day, but I couldn't kiss them.
Right.
I couldn't hug them, couldn't touch them, and that's hard.
And I can imagine
Yeah,
how
because
you felt because I know how close you are with your kids, how you speak
my
about your
baby,
son.
now my babies, and my little one was only 7. So,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
hmm
You
Yeah.
are strong. You are so
I try to
strong.
be. I try to be.
Can you describe a moment when you felt particularly low and how you managed to overcome it?
Particularly low was
Yeah.
like the day and the week after I sent my kids to North Carolina. That I cried for days, not being able to
Yeah.
see, my oldest son was like 15, and
Right.
he was angry with me, and that was hard. That was really hard because he
Right.
was very angry with me for sending him away. And I said, it's not like I'm sending you away. This is
Right.
the best thing for you right now. I mean, this is the best thing. And you don't like it, but believe me, I don't like it either. But
Right.
that week was tremendously hard. It's tremendously hard.
I
Like
can
I
imagine. Oh,
have
goodness.
pictures on my Facebook page of the day that they were leaving, and I was sitting on the back of the U-Haul, and
Uh-huh.
my youngest son came up, and he just put his head in my chest, and that was just,
Oh,
and I just, I was broke down because that,
yeah.
I wasn't gonna see him for a while. That was hard. That was really hard.
He was so little.
Yeah,
I
he was
can
so little,
imagine.
and because he
And it
didn't really
seemed
know
like
what was
he's
going on.
right. He just know he was leaving his mom.
Yeah. hmm
Yeah. They feel it.
Yeah.
So during that time, although you were physically away from them, you FaceTimed, you got to see him, he got to hear your voice. Did that kind of put you at some type of ease?
That helped, it helped. And I mean, after a
Okay.
while, it got better, it got a little easier. Um,
Okay.
and I came home a couple of times, so I was able to see him. Like my my oldest son had went to stay with his dad in Delaware, so
Okay.
I flew into North Carolina and got my youngest
Okay.
son, and me and my youngest son took the train to Delaware. And so we spent like a week together in Delaware with my family and stuff. So, I did get to see him sometimes, but it's, it was hard to pay my bills. So I definitely had to fly
Yeah.
across the country, you know,
Right. Right.
but yeah,
Ooh. I'm proud of you. Super,
thank,
super proud of you.
thank you, sis.
I'm not gonna ask you all these questions. We're gonna
Oh,
dive
it's
into.
fine.
uh, I know. we always talk all the time, and I haven't talked to you. I mean, we talk through DMs. You send me the beautiful messages. We go back and forth with that, and that's how I stay in tabs with you. But I'm talking about as far as how we used to have our conversations on the app platform that I once was on, and it was kind of more personal.
Yeah,
So that there, I miss you, and I'm
I miss you
super.
too.
Once you, I don't, faith is a mustard seed, correct? So when you told me about this, I met you in the middle of this, right?
Hmm.
I met you when you were in the storm,
Yeah,
okay? And I,
yeah,
I
good
remember
time.
I was like, I told you this word for word. You're gonna get through this. You're gonna get through this. And then he was like, Wavy, that was my name on there, but Wavy, I got some news. They got me on the list, and you were so excited. And I remember I felt good. It made me tear up, okay?
Yeah, hmm,
Because I was just so happy for you to get good news. God is just
yeah,
good, period, okay?
yeah. Because I had that my journey, on dialysis. I've been on dialysis for almost 10 years, and
Right,
the fortunate thing about being on dialysis and then going for a kidney transplant is the day that you start dialysis, that's your list date. So when they officially put
right.
you on the list, even if they put you on the list on June 23rd, if you started June 23rd to 24, even if you started dialysis in 2017, your list date
Hmm.
shows 2017. So that puts you really at the top of the list. And I
Oh,
literally was the first person on the list because I have been on dialysis for almost 10 years. And so when they put me on
mm,
the list, I was only on the list for 20 days.
God is
So
good. God
20
is so
days,
good.
yeah, I'm telling you, he is amazing.
That news when you came and told me, I just happened to be live and you came
Hmm.
and told me that.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know, whatever else I was going through that day, it didn't even
yeah,
matter. It was
yeah.
like I was so happy for my sister that I just felt your feelings of emotion through me. Um, okay. Because I know I'm gonna cry soon or tear up. Cause it's just I was with you in the midst of this, and it's so crazy.
Hmm.
How did you handle the physical pain or discomfort associated with your illness?
Um, So before I went, like there's a couple different types of dialysis that you can do. You can do like at
Mm-hmm.
home. There's two different forms of at home dialysis that you can do, and then you can do
Okay.
like where you go to the center and stuff. And so I used to do at home dialysis where I had this catheter in my stomach. So of course that in itself is horrible. Like
Right.
how you trying to be cute and sexy with this thing hanging out your stomach like that ain't cute. That ain't sexy. I'm like, listen, I'm a young chick. I'm still trying to be out here be cute
Oh my
and sexy. You
goodness.
know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
I hear that.
so that was a challenge because I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to undress and stuff like that. So that like put my social life and my love life on hold and everything. And so that was tough. I wouldn't say that I felt a lot of pain
Okay.
associated with it. The only time I would have to say was like pain is when like maybe surgeries, and I didn't have a whole bunch of them like when I was in Texas, but
Okay.
I've had a whole lot of them since I got to North Carolina.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so that would be the only thing, just recovering from all the different surgeries and the scars on my
The
body.
scars.
Oh, they're
Right.
terrible. And yeah, the scars are probably the biggest thing now because I'm like, I look at my body and I'm just like, I don't want to look at my body because I just got so many
Right.
scars, you know.
Man, that's scars of bravery right there. That's
And
scars.
my battle
That
scars,
that
I mean,
that tell a story.
I wear them with pride, you know what I mean? But it's hard to,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's a mental thing. It's hard to feel attractive, when you have all these scars
Right.
all over your body, you know.
This is I definitely get that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you now, vibrant over there and everything. Okay.
Honey, listen, I'm trying to.
Were there any books, podcasts, or other resources that provided you with inspiration and strength?
Um, I wouldn't
Or just
say in the beginning, no, because honey, I was not a social media person, and Facebook was it. That was literally it.
right,
And so that, that was like a way. And I, was using Facebook when I lived in Texas, and that was my way of keeping in contact with my family back east.
right,
So I really wasn't, but then, I really wasn't doing anything then. But, once the pandemic hit,
hmm
that's when I became a social media person because I was bored. And it was funny
right.
because I never went out like that anyway. I was never like, I don't like to be out in
Okay.
crowds and things like that. And when
Same.
COVID hit and they was like, you can't go outside, I'm like, I'm ready to be outside.
Right. The
I'm trying to be
opposite.
outside. Y'all trying to keep me in the house. Why y'all trying to keep me in the house? I'm trying to be outside.
Mm,
So
right,
that was funny, but yeah, so I started, I started a couple different, got on a couple different apps, and that's when I found Tag, and started. That was when that was when the live streaming really. Well, that was when I knew that the live streaming had started up, and it was on a different app than
right.
Tag, but it was that was what got me through that time because COVID was terrible.
Oh my
So
gosh.
towards the end, social media, just kind of got me through.
That
And
was
actually,
me.
all the people that I met, you know what I mean? Everybody that I met, you
Yes.
know what I mean? Everybody get, always encouraged, like, AV and Jamila. And,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so, yeah, but yeah,
Avi and Jamila is definitely the most encouraging, uplifting people I've have met in a while.
yep.
Yes.
I
Shout
love
out
them.
to them.
Yep.
I feel the same. What advice would you give someone who has just been diagnosed with that similar illness?
Don't give up. And don't give up. Do not give up.
Oh,
Prayer changes things. God is,
yes.
it is a test. It is all a
Yes.
test. And it is up to you to pass the test. He will give you the direction, he will give you the knowledge, but it's up to you to follow his direction and to use the knowledge that he gives you. And for a long
Right.
time, I did not do that. That's why I was on dialysis for 10 years because I didn't do that. I let it's like I let everything hold me back and drag me down instead of, me pushing forward and, really doing what I had to do. It was like, I was,
Right.
and I mean, it was because I was without my kids. I didn't give up, but I didn't care. And so,
Right.
I was like, okay with being on dialysis. And then when I wasn't okay with being on dialysis, that's when things started
Mhm.
changing. And
Right.
it was little things that I have been praying for. And the biggest thing that I have been praying for was patience because I was like, God, I'm trying to be patient through this process, but it is so hard because they keep telling me one thing and then something else happens. And I'm like, I'm trying to be patient. Help me be patient. And this one thing
Yeah.
happened to me on my way home from dialysis one day. And I was like, God, I didn't learn a thing, did I? And I was like, you know what? I learned today. I said, I'm going to go drive on home. I'm just going to go home.
hmm
I'm not going to say nothing. Just go here. Just go home. And I went on home.
Right.
The very next week, I got the phone call that I was approved or that I was going on the list. And it was like, I had been saying, God, I'm going to be faithful and obedient. And that's what exactly
Yes.
what I've been saying to myself. I'm going to be faithful and obedient. And that's all I kept saying to myself. And when I
Wow.
finally became obedient, because I had been faithful, when I finally became obedient and listened to
Right.
him when he told me to walk away, that's when
hmm
everything happens. So don't give up.
Wow.
It may, what I mean,
Don't
what's
give
for
up.
you is for you. And
Ooh.
it may take some time, but don't give up. You know what I mean? You gotta just
Yeah.
stay the course and know that God got you. He is trying to teach you a lesson. I needed to slow down. That's what this was my lesson. That was my lesson. Slow down. You need to chill
Down.
sometimes. And he slowed me
Right.
down, but
Wow.
all you got to do is stay the course, and you got to get down on your knees and pray.
Yes.
You
Yes.
you have to form a personal relationship with God, and just you gotta pray your way through it. You know what I mean? Other people, hopefully other people are praying for you as well, but you gotta pray your own way through it, you know.
Right.
Mhm.
Woo.
Testimony, honey, testimony.
Yes. My goodness. Okay. We already asked you that. Um, you already answered that. How did you keep your mental health check during this time? Like, how did you stay like?
Mm-mm. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Oh man.
That was hard. That's a hard one right there.
Okay.
That's definitely a hard one. Because not only was I fighting the disease, I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
my kids. I didn't have my kids,
Right.
and I went crazy. But I have to be thankful because not long before I started dialysis, I got a dog. I got
Mm-hmm.
my little dog, and
I
he was my
remember.
comfort. He was my companion. He was my little warrior through the whole thing because he was there with me the whole time. And
Right.
when my kids weren't, so him and I are still. He just turned 11 this year, but me and him are so close.
I remember.
My little punky.
Oh, okay. Wow. Can you share an inspiring story or a moment from your journey that you often reflect on?
Um, well, I often, and maybe because it's the most recent thing, is I often,
Mm-hmm.
talk about the progression and how fast everything happened
Right.
once I became obedient. Like
Right.
it literally was 5 weeks from the time I got the whole patience thing to the time they gave me the time I got the phone call. 5 weeks. And
Wow.
I was like, it's a whirlwind. It really is. It was a whirlwind.
Right.
So I talk about it all the time, just how fast it happened, and this is probably the biggest thing that I talk about all the time is now I know that being, getting on the transplant list and,
Mm-hmm.
and then getting your phone call, I know that that's not a quick thing, but I knew
Right.
the process. I knew what day I started dialysis, so I knew where I would be on the list. But now myself, I really didn't think it would happen in 20 days. I didn't think it would happen in
Right.
20 days. So I get to the hospital and everybody, all the doctors and nurses and stuff coming in to see me. And then you have all the nurses and stuff. They're just like, oh my gosh, you got called in 20 days? That's unheard of. I can't even
Right.
tell you how many people said that to me, that is so unheard of. And I was like, you know what? After a while, I was like, you know what? I get what you're saying. I respect what you're saying. But I'm going to tell you this. There is nothing unheard of when you have God on your side. I said, but boo, I understand that. And y'all
Amen.
met, with your medical knowledge and things like that, there are certain things, science, people, if science is something that you can, prove and you know what I mean? It's a proven thing. Listen,
Right.
you got to have faith to know that God got you. And I was like, if you ain't
That's
got no faith,
a
you don't
fact.
know what I'm talking about. But listen, I got God on my side.
Right.
And he made that happen.
Right.
Boom, boom, boom. Yep.
Oh man. Faith without works is dead.
It's dead. Tell him
Okay.
again.
Shoot. Faith without works is dead. It's like, what are we doing?
What?
Okay. Woo. Oh my gosh. Did you find support groups or communities helpful? And would you recommend them to others?
I didn't really do any like support group kind of things. I had my
Okay.
mom and she stayed in Texas with me. And then
Okay.
like she had a lot of friends. Like I didn't really have I like the couple of jobs that I only had two jobs when I was out there, or actually three. But the two of the jobs I had, I worked for T-Mobile and
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft, and they are huge
Okay.
companies, and so I made a lot of friends there. But I ain't no social butterfly. I don't need to be out
Right.
and about and stuff. So, but I used to go with my mom to different places, and so I used to tell people all the time, I hang with a mature crowd. You know what I'm saying? I hang with like senior citizens, and it's okay because they have a good time too. But
Right.
I used to hang with my mom and her friends, and because they all bowled, and I used to go to their little bowling convention or tournaments and stuff with them. We have a good old time. So that was my thing, is just hanging out
Okay.
with my mom and her friends. That was
Okay.
a good time for me.
I did the same with my mom. I still do.
I do too, girl. Me too. Me and my
I
mom,
still
her
do.
birthday, her birthday's in a couple weeks. We going to see the Whispers, Jeffrey
Oh,
Osborne,
nice.
and Evelyn Champagne King in a couple weeks, honey. We about to be in there jamming.
Oh, nice. I love that.
Yeah.
Did you have to take did you have to take any kind of like information from doctors, whereas they told you you needed to do a diet or exercise or anything of that nature during this
Ooh.
time?
Yes, it's
And
so
how
when
did that
you're
make you
when you're
feel?
on dialysis, there are so many things that you can't. There are quite a few things you cannot do.
Okay.
Like you can't eat like dairy products, cheese,
Mm-hmm.
milk. Yeah, you gotta watch your dairy. If you do have well, you can't. So dairy and like chicken and
Okay.
beef carry
Okay.
phosphorus, and phosphorus,
Oh,
the kidneys break down phosphorus, and so when your
okay.
kidneys are not working, it's not breaking down the phosphorus, and phosphorus is horrible. When I tell you it's horrible. And what it does is it builds up in your system. It can
Okay.
create extra bone in your body.
Mm-hmm.
It make you itch, like if your level gets too high, it'll make you itch. And
Okay.
so that was mm, that's a big thing,
Oh.
but you have to take, you take meds and stuff. You gotta take these big old
Mm-hmm.
horse pills every time you eat. I'm like, that's no fun.
Oh.
um then you couldn't, that's like I said, I couldn't have ice cream and stuff like that. You do have to watch your diet.
Okay.
A lot of patients that are on dialysis are actually like diabetics, and unfortunately enough, I've never been diabetic. My issue was caused
Mhm.
due to high blood pressure for an extended period of time. And
Okay.
so, thankfully I didn't have to deal, with that side of things, because that comes with a whole set of another problem, a whole another set of problems.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, for the most part, it was really just the dairy. And then you just have to, yeah, it's like everything in moderation, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, everything in
All
moderation.
right. So what do you eat now, sister?
Well, I can eat anything, but the only thing I cannot have is grapefruit juice, and I'm not
Grapefruit
very
juice.
happy about that because most people
Okay.
can't stand it, but I actually love it.
Love it.
And
Okay.
my some of my anti-reject it will decrease the effect of some of my
Okay.
anti-rejection medications, and so I'll reject the
Oh,
kidney. And so I was like, nope, won't be drinking
not
that
worth
no
it.
more. Nope, not worth
Not
it.
worth it.
Not at all.
So how have you been with your boy, your kids, and reuniting with your kids since all of this has taken place?
Oh, it's been really good. My youngest son, he was actually, my sister had went on vacation, because like my sister went on vacation, and he was with
Okay.
me at the time when I got the phone call to go to the hospital. And so,
Right.
I'm like, oh my gosh, like I know he don't want to be sitting in the hospital for like 2, 3 days and stuff. Like, what am I
Right.
going to do with him? So I just left him home. He was like 16. So I was like, you old enough to be home. Just don't be freaking having no parties and stuff. You all right. Play your
Right.
video game. Um, and my oldest son, he wasn't here. He moved in October of last year. He moved all the way
Okay.
to Michigan. I'm telling you, he broke my heart, child. He
I
broke my
remember you came into my life crying. I remember.
Oh, girl,
With
he
my
broke my heart. He
baby.
broke my heart.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yes, ma'am.
gosh. But He do come and see you now and visit you, or you went to visit him, right? Or no?
No, he came home this weekend.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, we brought him home this weekend. And actually, we went to the water park today. Girl, so it's not like a traditional water park. You know, you got
Okay.
rides and stuff, wave pools or with lazy rivers. It's nothing like that. It's actually
Okay.
an inflatable water park. It's like this big rubber floating water park. It's like a wipeout zone. Girl, that thing
Okay.
is so fun, but I can tell you right now, I'm gonna pay the price tomorrow. Pay the price.
You're gonna be knocked out after this.
Girl, I got bruises all over my body. But you wanna know
Oh,
what?
goodness, you have.
The last time I went last year with some friends and my kids, and
Hmm.
I didn't get out there. I didn't do nothing because I was scared. All I did was kayak
Okay.
last year. But this year I was like, you know
Okay.
what? I'm gonna challenge myself. You know what I mean? I just got my transplant and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna challenge myself. I'm not, I'm not doing anything that would hurt the kidney or anything, but
Right.
I'm gonna give myself I'm gonna do it. Girl, I was out
Let's
there I
go.
was out there for about 40 minutes to an hour. And that was long enough.
You have fun though.
Girl,
It's about making the memories, you
woo.
know?
Girl, I was
It's
slipping and
making the
sliding all
memories.
over the place.
Oh
Oh my
my
gosh.
gosh. I have to
I,
try out a place like that.
girl, my
I
toe,
love
oh, I
places.
thought I broke my toe. It's all bruised. I got bruises all down my legs. It
I
is,
believe it.
but you know what? These is
You
battle
gotta get
scars
some.
too. I had so much fun,
Nice.
but I'm so tired
So
right
I
now.
know that you told me when all this was over and done with, because you had patience, and not only did you have patience, you had faith. Your faith was strong. Like you said
Yeah.
before, you were obedient. Okay,
Hmm.
you was already with your faith, but you was working on that obedience.
Yeah.
But you said it was a place that you were going to visit when this was all said and done. So is that the place you're going on a cruise next year?
Um, no, no, but
Okay.
we are going to cruise. We're going to
Okay.
Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and St. Thomas. I just wanted to go
Nice.
somewhere. Just want to go somewhere.
Right.
I mean, I definitely my dream destination is Greece and
And you
Bali,
wanted to Bali. Yep, I
and
remember.
I'm headed there. I'm headed there. I'm about to be a jet setter. Listen, y'all gonna have to get me
Let's
catch me when
go.
you can. Catch me when you can. I said,
You
listen,
sound like me.
honey, I booked my first cruise 3 months after I had my transplant, and
Let's
I'm
go.
so super excited. Like, it's my first cruise, it's a 7 day cruise, and I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh my
And
goodness. Whenever
and
you're
I'm
ready
going
for
with my
Bali.
mom. I'm going with my mom too.
Let's go.
Yep.
Please
So,
send me some pictures or little videos. Post something on your Instagram.
oh,
Thank
you know I
you.
will. But mom just became a travel agent. So I'm like, listen,
Oh,
girl, we got to get out here and
nice.
start traveling so we can get some stuff on this page.
Right.
I said, look,
And
I'm ready. I told her I was
that'll
like,
be dope.
I was gonna contact my traveling friends, you and my other girlfriend. I said they always somewhere, honey. They got videos. I'm like,
Let's
listen, can I
go.
steal y'all videos?
Because if y'all want to go to Bali, I definitely got the people for you so you can have an amazing time like I did.
That's what's up.
Okay?
That's
Or any
what's
place
up.
that you want to go to at this point.
I want to go.
Uh, um, what is one piece of wisdom you gained from this experience that you would like to share with our listeners?
Um, oh gosh, so many things. But let me think of the biggest thing. Um, Here I go again.
Oh, it's okay.
Just
It's
think about my,
okay.
you know, I'm just thinking about my kids.
Right.
I'm thinking about my kids, and just hug your family. Stay close to your family. You know what I mean? Because you
Right.
never know. I mean, you never know when it's going to be your time, when it's going to be their
Right.
time. We just never know. And,
Right.
you know, the devil tried to take me out of here multiple times. He really did. He tried to take me out here a couple times. And I've seen the toll that it's taken on my youngest son because he was so young when it all began, and he's only
Right.
16 now, and so he's really seen me go through this whole thing. But just
Right.
don't let don't you know what I mean? It's like it's so much that's going on in the world today that it's
Right.
easy for us to let petty stuff come between us as family, not just your immediate family, you know what I mean, your cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever.
Right.
Life is too short, and like with all the pettiness going on in the world, we don't need it within our family, and I
Right.
just take care of your family. Be there for your family. That that's the big that your family is the most important thing to me. Always has been, always will be. Family is my
Right.
strength. Um,
Same.
yeah, family's my strength. So, but yeah, just take care of your family. Just take care.
That's the best advice ever.
I love my boys.
Oh man. And he said, how old is your oldest son now?
He is 24, and the little one is
24.
16.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. So the one is about to graduate high school soon.
yes. And the other one, he like I said, he moved to Michigan. He just left me. Left me alone. No, but you know what? It was
Oh,
the best. It was the best thing in the world for him to go. It was. He's
right.
grown up so much. I've grown up too. Gotten used
Right.
to. It was like I allowed myself to be lazy. I really did. I
Right.
allowed myself to be lazy, and because I'll be like, oh, go do this for me. Oh, go do that. Do this. Oh, I'm just tired. I ain't that tired. I could get up and do it, but I just allow myself to be lazy.
To be
And since
lazy.
he's been
Right.
gone, I've stepped up my game, and
Let's
I'm not
go.
just sitting around withering away. You know what I mean? I'm up doing stuff.
Right.
I'm working
Because
longer
if you
days.
don't use it, you're going to lose it.
I
Okay?
know that's right.
And this is the last question. How has this experience changed your outlook on life?
Getting
Hmm.
this transplant, girl, I've told you, I'm ready to be a jet setter. I'm trying to be. Listen, it's about to be hot girl summer. You know what I'm saying,
I know
honey?
that's
It's
right.
about to be hot girl summer. Now, through the whole process, I lost a lot of weight.
Right.
And so now I'm just trying to get it toned up a little bit. Now I got some little more
Okay.
energy a little bit. We got to tone her up so she gonna be like,
Yes.
um, but I'm trying to be out in the streets just a little bit.
As you should.
I don't do the streets too much. Especially
Right.
since a girl get ready to turn 50 and everything, I don't got
Let's
time for all that street.
go.
Okay. The streets be calling me though. But
Let's
no, they've been
go.
having some things here in Raleigh,
Okay.
little like outdoor events and stuff. They have this thing called adult
Okay.
recess. One of
Oh,
my patients at my job, she's in this club, what's it called? 40 plus double Dutch
okay.
club or something like that. Girl, I'm about to be out here jumping some double Dutch.
I know you were telling me about the recess, the adult recess. I just never got to hear
Oh,
like your experience. Like,
oh man.
was it
Well,
fun?
I wish I could have went to the last one, but it was my cousin's
Okay.
birthday and they were having a birthday party. But the last one they had like softball and kickball, dodgeball, things like that. All the things that,
Nice.
like we played in middle school and stuff. To just
Right.
have fun. They got a little table set up where you can play pinochle, spades, any kind of card game. They had board games out there. Now the time that I actually made it, we were hula hooping, double dutching. We was playing a little beach
Nice.
volleyball. We was throwing axes.
That's so
We
nice.
had a good time. We really did.
I
It was
love
fun.
that.
And it was, I mean, it was people from all over Raleigh. And so, you get to socialize and meet people. And it was just
Right.
such an awesome vibe. Nobody was tripping and, wasn't
Mhm.
no
I
yelling, no
love that.
fighting. We just
No
had a good time.
fighting. That's awesome. Yep. So I highly encourage you make the Instagram page for your traveling.
Well, we did.
And Oh,
we
you
got a
did?
good
So I
picture. Yeah, I got a couple of pictures and stuff up there.
okay. So
Just some still shots, and I'm like, shoot, I need some videos because this is other girl that I follow that's a travel agent, and she got the best videos. I'm like, damn, I wish I could
uh,
snag her videos.
but the
Yeah,
reels are really easy. The reels, long as you select what you want, it puts it in the order for you. I know you did reels before, and it breaks
hmm
it up. So the editing is not as extensive. It's
right.
not so much. Like some people get overwhelmed. And
Yeah,
just keep putting it out there, sister. I'm definitely gonna follow you on that page. You gotta let me know
yeah,
after the show,
yeah. I'll
so
send
I
it
can
to you.
follow. That's I
Yeah,
definitely support. So is
we trying
anything
to get
else
it.
you yeah. I think that is amazing. For one, I love you. I met you while you were going through this storm, and we just gravitated towards each other. God put us together for a reason.
Goodbye.
Um, and every time I get a message from you, I'll be like, "What's she sending me?" Because I know it's something uplifting or something funny. It's one of the two, and it's always on time. I promise.
Right.
Every time it's always on time. But I'm like, I had to get my sister on this show. My show would not. I need her on the episode. Okay, would not be where I needed to go
Have
without
you?
her. Um, and is anything else you would like to share?
Um,
Anything?
well, if y'all are ever on tags, I do a game night on Tuesday nights at
Yeah.
10 p.m. Um,
Yes.
and we have a good time. We have naughty nights sometimes too. Shh. Um, we also have some naughty games, and but yeah, we have a good time. I just bought some
Okay.
new games for game night, and
Nice.
they've been going over pretty good. So, but yeah,
Good.
that's about it.
Yeah, so if you don't have the tag app, make sure you download it and search her name. Her name is Here Comes Trouble.
Oh, hold on.
If you want to go and support her and check her out, she's also on Instagram, like I said in the beginning of the interview. Same name, Here Comes Trouble. Make sure you guys go follow her. I think it's amazing that you're starting a travel journey. I'm super excited for you. And God is amazing. I'm just happy to see you here. You're glowing and you're happy. And your boys is back, although one
Um,
moved away. But
yeah,
God is amazing, sis. So
he go back tomorrow.
he go back tomorrow. It go by so
Mm. It
fast.
does. It went by super fast, but
Oh
it's
my
okay.
gosh.
We had a good time, and he had a good
Yes.
time with his friends and stuff too. So that was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you would like to,
Did
if
you
not
want me
have
to
nothing
sing?
else,
Did you still want me to
yes.
sing?
Any song of your choice.
Okay. I'm trying
There's
to
no.
find my library here.
She has an amazing voice, guys.
All
A
right.
very amazing voice.
So I wasn't sure what I was gonna sing, and my girlfriend in my tag live, she was like, "You gotta do one night only." I'm like,
Oh, that's my song.
really? I was like, really? We about to do that? That's how
Yes.
we doing that?
Just a little before she goes into the last part of the show, she's gonna end us off with a song. But just a little backstory. When I met Trouble, I stumbled into her live and she was singing. She will always sing in the mornings before she get ready for work in her kitchen, whether she was cooking, whatever she doing, she moving around and she
Over my
singing.
head.
And we loved her voice so much. She was on featured shows on the app tag that everybody asked her to sing. And it's just a blessing to have her sing for me. Okay?
Okay, so let me see if this is loud enough. So I'm gonna
Okay.
do. Yeah, hold on. Let me see.
I'm going to mute myself too. Let's see.
Okay, that's not what I'm
There.
singing now. I just wanted to make sure it was loud enough. You can hear the music?
Not her
Did you
speaker. Hold on.
did you
What you
hear the
say?
Did you hear the music?
I can hear it.
Okay.
You,
Okay. I wonder if I should do it with my mic to make sure you can hear me. No, I'm
the
just gonna.
mic.
I'm trying to be professional and stuff.
I
All
need the
righty.
full trouble experience. Okay.
All right. But you can hear me clearly, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll be all right. once all my love. Only one night only. One night only. Honey, I'm full. Voice is terrible.
That was amazing anyway.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Look,
so much,
you're
sis, for being
welcome.
here.
You're welcome. Look,
I
I was out
love
at
you.
that water park screaming all afternoon.
And you sound good. I love that
Thank.
song.
Oh, that's my jam too. Thank you guys for
Yes.
having me.
So,
Thank you so much.
thank you so much for blessing my platform. I appreciate
You
you.
gotta have me back again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have a good night, sissy.
All right. Mwah. I love you, honey. I love
Bye.
you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
So
Oh,
that was
wow.
Here Comes Trouble. You guys make sure you tap in with her. Her story is amazing.